Alrighty, this should get going very, very shortly here. Just waiting to make sure it's working. And that's looking good. Alrighty, let's reload of that and make sure that I'm able to see people's comments in chat. So all I'm going to do here is turn in a whole bunch of stack decks. I'm expecting to lose currency on this. It's mostly just something that'll be a bit of fun. But we're going to go and have a look and see how we go anyway. I like to turn these in the mine encampment. Well, you don't actually turn them in the traditional sense. You simply drop them on the ground. And we're loading into the mine encampment now. So, in terms of the things you're hoping to see with whenever you turn in stack decks, the jackpots are any of the cards that are a fraction of a mirror of Calandra, and also any of the cards that are a fraction of a Headhunter, except the Nurse. The Nurse is a good drop, but it's not a jackpot. Hey, Simon, thank you. I'm just going to set this player is already disturbed. Just set a good old D&D message on so that you don't end up getting missing out on seeing what comes out. So Destined to Crumble is going to drop a lot. Somebody's Vow is a bit more uncommon. Destined to Crumble is going to drop a lot. Note in the Wind is actually very rare. That's for the Upgrade Prophecy. That's for the Upgrade Prophecy for Asenath's Mark. Very solid card, but not worth anything late in a mature league. Primordial is worth a little bit. Thunderous Skies is a leveling item. Hermit's a leveling item. The Lover is barely even a leveling item. So there we've got basically... the Primordial, I think, is not worth anything now. But it's sort of always there as a bit of fun. Dark Temptation will drop a lot. Reign of Chaos is so bad that it's not even showing on my loot filter, of course. Wilted Rose, I'm surprised, isn't worth more in this league, actually. There it is twice. That's the one for a level 21, Origin. So with how powerful auras are this league. So absolutely no jackpots, not even any medium hits yet. But that's the fun of this. I'm going to end up losing a lot of currency here. Beta Expectations is a fishing card. Bit of a meme. The Professor would be worth more in a league that's not Heist. Arrogance of the Vile is the most fun divination card in the game. It's not worth much, but it's a 2 implicit Crangled unique item. It's always one that's a lot of fun to turn in. It's also an absolute pain to compile sets of in trade. So the Tinkerer's Table is a drop anywhere card for a fossil. Vinier's Token is currency. Darkest Dream is... Oh, that's the Chaola unique. 7 in Sleep. There are slightly faster ways to turn in divination cards, but there's just a nice feel, I think, to doing them slowly. So absolutely nothing out of the first 40, but we'll keep going. Oh, the Damned. Oh, that's the one that one of my favourite streamers over on Twitch is absolutely desperate to get that. So they're trying... They're absolutely mad. This guy, Iron Wolf, he's trying to get himself every single unique in the game before any more uniques are added in solo self-found, which is a pretty incredible goal to set for yourself. And one of the ones he's having the most trouble with is the Soul Ripper unique flask, because that is very hard to get your hands on in SSF. Originally, it only dropped from a Temple of Atsuatl, from one of it's an ultra rare thing there. One of the super rare, what do you call it? It's the Vile upgrades. So, Three Faces in the Dark. Yeah, that's,
I need more pops.
So that's a lot of rubbish there. Anyways, let's just drop all these away. Stash Affinity makes this so much easier than it otherwise would be. Yeah, Lighty's doing it in SSF, and, oh, is it Iron Wolf, or is it Iron versus Wolf is doing it in SSF as well. Yeah, I've watched Lighty a little bit as well. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things with streamers that their individual things about them can appeal more or less with different people. Very Treasure is for a Sulfite Scarab. That's gone up a bit from when this loot filter was set up, so it's no longer dumpster tier like it was there, or there wasn't ever dumpster tier, but it's now worth a little bit more than it was. Bottom tier Sulfite Scarabs are sort of 25C at the moment in the Heist League, as more and more people try and push further in. Rebirth is for that silly sword, the Sharon sword. That thing is an absolute mongrel to get your hands on, and getting Rebirth cards in trade is the only way I would ever suggest getting yourself an Onigoroshi if you ever want one. So we still haven't had a single big drop. Closest we've had was the Soul Ripper card, which is solid. I'd have to look at the exact league price of that flask, but it's often an Exalt worth of a card. In fact, I might just quickly check that out now. So just quickly jumping into POE.ninja and having a quick see at what the price is on that. So it is Soul Ripper, unique flask. In the Heist League, the flask is only 3C, so that means that the Divination card is currently half of... Sorry, it's 3X, so the Divination card is half an X. It's 1/6 of the flask. And we're getting more and more garbage here, but hey, that's half the fun. Hopefully everyone's having a decent Christmas. The Queen. Oh, that's accurate. That's Azuri's Acuity. Really nice item that I don't see being used very much these days. It was super chased for a long period. It's one of those things that had to have a nerf at one point, and the new version has never quite been good enough. There's a card. Oh, the Soul Taker. I don't think Soul Taker's worth much anymore. Like, it's probably still a 10C card, but I don't think it's a big drop. So far, our biggest card has been a half X card. And we're going to keep going, keep turning these silly things in, as soon as I can navigate the keyboard properly. So the quickest way to turn these in is to drag them, I think it's to hold shift and, no, that doesn't work either. There is a quicker way than this, but I like the relax, just right click, move, drop approach. There have been a couple of people who have turned in statistically significant numbers of stack decks lately, and from that, the estimates that we've been able to make, we still can't pin the rarity of the Divination cards that drop mirrors, and they are a big part of the value of the stack decks, but they're somewhat of the order one per 20,000, but we can't really go any more accurate than that, unfortunately. What were these? Oh, the Eternal Labyrinth Enchanted Helmet. That's always a fun card. That was one of my favourite 3.9 cards. Actually, 3.9 had a lot of div cards from memory that were fun. Anyways, let's keep going. We've got another 70 in this first batch, and then we've got another 600 after that. Oh, it's not looking good, is it? Nothing. Lots of Destined to Crumbles. The game is trying to tell me something about my character's wealth is destined to crumble at the moment. It's the Hunger. Oh, Taste of Hate. Of course, very good item, but one that is just not quite rare enough anymore to be valuable. There's often a very fine line between items being very valuable when they're rare and very cheap. So, here we go, another 50 in this slot. Garish Power, Doppelganger. Journalist drops quite a lot. Mountain is also another common one. The Wretched is a fun card to turn in a bunch of. Lots of unique jewel cards here. It's like I've just hit one of the heist jewelry chests there. It's like every second card seemed to be a Divination card relating to jewels in some regard. Time Lost Relic is unfortunately a set of 10. That's one of those items that, if it was a smaller set size, it would be something you'd probably trade for a lot and turn in just for the fun of turning in a big bunch. So we're still seeing absolutely, positively nothing here. Lord of Celebration is sometimes worth a bit in leagues, just because it's the easiest divination card to get for a Shaper influenced item. Unfortunately, there's no challenge to turn in a Shaper influenced set yet in this league, so the Lord of Celebration card has not held up very well in value. Game is definitely telling me something about Imperial Legacy cards. Well, it looks like I'm burning currency so that none of you guys have to. We're certainly not seeing anything great yet. But hey, we've got another 600 chances. That's 400 cards down, 150C card, a couple other maybe 20C cards, but basically we've got almost nothing. And that is normal for stack decks. You pretty much need to hit big. I just realised that I thought I had taken 400 before. I'd only taken 200. So that's a good sign. That was actually only 200 cards that had burned. Let's grab another 200. Let's not take 210. And let's burn another 200 cards. Good deal. That's Scarab one. Akel's Prophecy. That's the Upgrade Prophecy. Lord in Black is... Ring of Mammoth. I always forget that one. Mother's Parting Gift, something very low value. Imperial Legacy again, another low value one. The low value ones are mostly the one for Chaos Orbs. And we are getting absolutely kicked here again. Let's pick up all this rubbish and see how we go with the next batch. The web divination card unfortunately has aged really poorly with the changes to the multi-mod setup, to how multi-modding works. It used to be, like, it was never good, but it used to be a little bit less terrible than it is now. And so that was a misclick. Let's pick up another bunch. Heroic Shot, I kind of like that card just because it's a set of 1. Sets of 1 are just convenient to turn in. And again, we are going nowhere here. The wind is... Oh, Wind Ripper. Yeah, look, Melfios is one of those things that something like 35% of the EV of these things is tied up in the mirror shard cards, in the mirror cards. So if you don't get a mirror, if you don't get any of the mirror cards, and most people won't, then a large percentage of the value of your stack decks was tied up in the mirror drops that you didn't get. It's kind of like how a lot of lotteries work, where, at least, I don't know if this may be different elsewhere, but in Australia, 40% of the prize pool goes to the big one. So essentially, if you don't win the big one, then you don't get anything. Robert, if you've just got here, the biggest card that I've had so far is the one for the Soul Ripper Unique Flask. The Flask is 3x at the moment in the Heist League, so we are looking at a 0.5x card. And like you can see here, that 10, the best thing we got was a Wrath, which is 1.25 Chaos. And, you know, it has an extra step involved in redeeming it. Polymath, that's Astromantis, isn't it? Yeah, have a good Christmas, man. Hopefully it's COVID safe one and let off a little bit of steam after the craziness of this year. So this lot here, there is absolutely nothing great in that pickup. You know, just humilities, a couple of things that are like early league items, really. What's the Jester again? Oh, Merciless One-Hand Weapon. That should actually be better than it is. People should play around with that more. It's a good start for crafting. We're getting absolutely trashed in this slot. So that last 10 had absolutely nothing of even capable of showing up as tier 4 on the filter. Alright, well that is a pile of rubbish. Humility is a bit better than it shows up as here. Humility is always 1/9 of a Divine Orb late in the league. And Divine Orbs have gone up a bit since I set up my filter, so they're not rubbish, even though the filter is putting them in the rubbish category. They're more just meh. Yeah, have a good Christmas yourself, Archive. Time Lost Relic is always fun. Very rare to actually complete a set of that. It is a set that can give you a Headhunter, but the RNG ones that are more likely to give you a Headhunter are, what's it called? The Divination card set, the Wretched, the one that's a random belt. That's much more likely at a similar price, and also there's a bunch of others. The Nemesis item is considerably more likely to be a Headhunter. But we've got absolute rubbish so far, and let's keep going with more rubbish. The Warden is unfortunately something that has not aged well. That was a cool divination card once, back when you would turn it in at level 80 and feel like, oh, can I get an item with a +1 curse on an amulet? But nowadays it's just an amulet that doesn't have the ability to get oil on it. Yeah, Flame. Yep. I do my usual hair maintenance school, which is simply kill it all, wait 6 months, repeat. And with the COVID situation, the right time to get a hairy was quite recently. Oh well, looks like the Stack Deck gods have been having a very Merry Christmas at my expense here. But hey, that's half the fun. What's Christmas without getting in the spirit by burning a bunch of currency? And we've got a few more in this lot. Getting quite a few of that Professor Div card, which is for the Putrid Cloister. It may be that that's the most common source of that specific map. Alright, here we go. Let's do a pickup run. Rubbish everywhere. It's interesting how much of an impact just having one or two low-end one or two low-end divination cards can have on the value of it. AAA, on the statistics side of things, this is genuinely meaningless and insignificant compared to some of the drops that people have done. I'm only turning in 1,000. There are two guys that have done 20,000 and one that's done 50,000. So those are more statistically significant than this, but even then they're not big enough to deduce what I think is the most important thing, which is the rarity of the mirror cards. Because the rarity of the mirror cards is what's going to determine what the expected value of a stack deck should be. And I just misclicked that one. Because the mirror cards make up so much of the overall value. Exile cards are another big part of it, but we've got a pretty good pin on the rarity of the Exile cards. Yeah, that's true. Alright, let's grab a whole bunch more, and then that's 400. So we've got Arrogance of the Vile again there, which is a lot of fun as a card. I've mentioned before, it's my favourite divination card. I prefer it even to the ones that I've commissioned myself. It's just one of those cards that's so much fun to see the weird and wonderful treasures that get created by it. And it looks like we are out of space with exactly one too many. One of the problems with that AAA is reporting bias. So one of the things that makes it so difficult is that people often don't report results unless they feel they're remarkable. Hey Daniel Lee, how's it going? So if you feel that your results are ordinary rather than extraordinary, you're more likely not to report them. And that means that the final, there's a strong bias towards people, towards the reporting of remarkable seeming results. That means that things that are very rare events, like getting a mirror card or things like getting a Headhunter card, get overrepresented in self-reported stats. Hey, thanks, Sheriff. It's not looking to be too merry a Christmas at the moment with all of these div cards going nowhere. Yeah, it's a really difficult problem to actually to solve in a game environment where most of your crowdsourcing of info, it needs you to be very careful, like with making sure that you get results from people. This equipment, Sheriff, not as much as it might look like. So I got, well, 6-link Eternity Shroud is, I think it's like 4x. These Call of the Brotherhoods were, I paid an X for each base, or a bit less than an X early in the league, and then I used what do you call it? A Trash to Treasure on it. Now I was paying 5.3x for Trash to Treasures at that time. I do believe they've gone up quite a bit since then. Then after the Trash to Treasures, I had I've got a meme, like an attempt at a meme craft on the shield, which just has not worked. This is not a good shield at the moment, so it's not really worth much. I'm not using much in the way of gear, to be honest. This was just a Penance brand helmet that I was able to pick up in trade. It wasn't particularly expensive, but I think I may have paid a couple X for a Penance brand enchant on a high item level Hubris. And then I think I'm using, like, it's a pretty mediocre amulet. It's okay, but it could be better. This should actually be Skyforth. I should be using Skyforth, and I didn't think of Skyforth when I was setting things up. So if I was to play this build for much longer, I would want to get a Shaper Influence Skyforth. And the way that I would get a Shaper Influence Skyforth is, again, Trash to Treasure. And I think, yeah, Trash to Treasure's gone up a bit. Hey, McLurple, how's it going? I hope I pronounced that right. Michaelopple? Oh, so, Devotonator, you're asking, has there been anything good so far? And the answer is no. That Hoarder, oh no, Hoarder isn't worth much, but I've had the 1/6 of the Temple of Atzoatl flask. So that's, the flask is for 3x, so that card is worth half an X, and that's it. That's the only big drop. Hoarder would be next, and I think the Primordial is still worth a little bit. Voids are going to be fun. I'm going to turn in all my Voids at the end of this because those things are so much fun. Bargain, that's a fifth of a Pure Breach Stone. Not sure what that's worth, actually. I think it might be like 12C or so. So that's another one that goes in with that Exalt card that I got before, the 1/12 of an Exalt. Something around that range. Botas, no, you can't. It's got to be... You can do it more efficiently than I'm doing it. Without cheating, but because I'm just doing it slowly so I can keep up with the chat and talk and the like. But no, you can't automate it. So just dumping all of these away. And let's go pick up the rubbish off the ground. Absolute trash cards. And Zyron's Reward. That's only like 15C usually. I don't know why I've got that coming up as a big value one on my filter. So Zyron's Reward is one of the prismatic jewels. That's the Golem jewels. Last Hope is an interesting divination card. This divination card is one of the most impactful on the game economy. And it doesn't seem it because it's low value, but it is the reason that Mortal Ignorance is the most expensive Atzuri piece. It used to be that Mortal Hope was the limiting factor. Yes, Stash Affinities are fantastic. Absolutely agree with Stash Affinities being amazing. Like, for garbage like this, it makes it so much easier, and it makes it so much more realistic to pick up the lower end div cards as well. Yeah. Thanks, Jinxed. Certainly haven't had good luck so far, but that's to be expected. This is one of those things where something like 35% of the expected value of these cards is tied up in your chances of hitting a mirror one. And those mirror ones are very, very low. Hey, Acurax. The only thing I've found of real value so far is a half Exalt card for the Temple of Atsuatl Flask. House of Mirrors would be nice. Even Unrequited Love or Demon or Doctor would be great too. I did earlier in the league, this was off stream, I hit the fraction of 10 Exalts. There's a Divination card. I put it up on the image for this video. Divination card, I can't think of it. Alluring Bounty, I think. I hit one of them earlier in the league. Hey, thanks, Fury Whip. It's the Cheetah. Yeah, the Cheetah. I had that drop naturally. Not this league, but last. I got it from a Parandus chest in a map. That's where the Cheetah normally drops. Yeah, there's a Nurse. So that takes over as the best drop I've had now, the Nurse. Well, you say not bad, but that was a very expensive Nurse so far. So we're 570 deep. We've got one Nurse. We've got one 55C card that was not a Nurse, and that's it so far. But that's fine. We're here for some fun. If we make currency, then that's a bonus, but we probably won't. Not doing anywhere near enough to smooth out the variance on the divination cards for mirrors. Okay, whoa, we are getting laggy there. That was like horrendous lag there. So we have done more than 500, less than 600 so far. So 500. Sorry, we've done what's left in the inventory after this inventory is clear. We have 400, so we have 456 left now. Obviously, my loot filter is a bit out of date in terms of the values of various cards. Humility is worth more than it is than it's showing up as. I believe Humility is now 3C-ish, which is pretty typical for late in a league. I'm just going to pause the stream for a sec just to let it catch up. Oh, rip. I think I just lost a Humility there. I don't think I can get back to that instance of the Delve Mines. Let's see if I get back there or not. No, I don't think I can get back in here. Let's just check if I can or not. Control Enter doesn't seem to work either. Albino, don't worry about it, mate. Why don't you turn them in yourself just for the lols? See if you get anything. Oh, we are getting some shocking lag at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the stream very quickly, let the stream catch up. Then at that point, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think that should work. So we lost the Humility to the crash. I'm not fussed about losing a Humility. I'm not accurately tracking everything. There's people that do that, and I just do not have the patience. I value my sanity just a little bit too much for that. Any special plans for today? Because I'm over in Australia, it's already sort of nearing the end of the day here. So it's 8:30 in the evening on Christmas Day. Just went to see extended family on my dad's side today. And then hopefully going to go hiking at some point in the next couple of days. Sort of planning to, just waiting for a friend to get back to me on whether she's keen to go to the Victorian Alps. A couple of really spectacular places up there that are really, really... They're quite isolated, and they're not well enough known because they're awesome. Like, they're sort of places that really should be much better known than they are. Anarchist Price is an interesting one. This divination card is one of the easiest sets in the game to compile, but it's very rare from stack decks. So it's got a really low weighting here, but in the normal game, it's got a really high weighting, or at least it's very much target farmable. Okay, so we have got absolutely nothing here. So far we have had one nurse, which was in the third lot of 200, and we have had one of whatever the divination card for Soul Ripper is called. And that Soul Ripper card came in the first 200, and otherwise, we're looking like we're getting nowhere. I only took out 100 that time, that was a mistake. Let's grab another 100. The Soul is the card for Soul Taker, isn't it? So I got a 1/9 of Soul Taker, which I actually do need to check the value on that, because I can't remember whether it's worth anything or not, so I'm going to quickly jump and have a look at the card. Well, actually, let's look up Soul Taker instead. Soul Taker's expensive this league. So Soul Taker's sitting at 434 Chaos in the Heist League, so that's actually a 45C drop, which I didn't realise it was. Or more than 45, it's a 48C drop. So that's an intriguing one. What's the cache? Oh, that's right, that's the unique jewellery. I should turn in a bunch of those. I'm sure I have a lot of them from Heists. They drop all the time in Heists. Dapper Prodigy is a card that's really good early league. A lot of people forget it exists, but it's one of those cards that's really worth target farming if you can get to maps on day one. Dapper Prodigy will make you rich if you farm a bunch of them, turn them in for 6-linked armor, and then sell the 6 links you can't use, and then keep going and farming more Dapper Prodigies. You will be able to make yourself quite a bit of currency that way. I've had fun in Heist. It's been really polarizing, the response, but I've had a lot of fun with it. It comes down to the Heist content itself. So leave aside the meta of the league has been really bad. It's been they haven't got around to nerfing aura stacking yet. So basically, aura stacking is a million times better than any other build. And you can't really tell what else is really good because everyone that's got the resources and is anyway optimization focused has gone on to playing aura stacking. So that's been one of the things that I haven't liked about it, but the league's been a lot of fun. I'll run one of the Heist encounters after this, just to give you a sense of what you've missed, and you'll be able to play it in the future of the game. But it has been a really broken league in terms of rewards just being so unbelievably high. Yeah, that's a good point. Flashback Heist is how old now? It's been going for a few days. I just got so busy with work that I've skipped Flashback Heist. Yeah. Flashback Heist, and also it's just a fresh league economy as well. Fresh leagues are always better for catching up. Like, it's really hard to get going in Heist proper now because the league's so stale. Ooh, what do we got now? We're not doing well. I've gotten really low drop rates on the Exalt Divination card. So I have the 1/12 of an Exalt card. I've had that drop once. And that's the only Exalt card I've had. Yeah, I'm in exactly the same place, Sheriff. It's like one of those things where whenever there's a new league coming out, it is the best time for, well, both for the channel and also just for my general hype for the game as well. I think it's the most fun part of the game is actually not the playing of it, it's the hype. with a new league, new events, new stuff to think on. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a US $3 one. Like, that's what they sell them for, but you shouldn't be buying them. Basically, they're a terrible value proposition. The boxes. Well, it'll be a good time, I think, because there's some major changes to the endgame flow. So that should be really good. Yeah, working out new mechanics is a lot of fun. Yeah, like, we don't know much about the current status of POE 2. I think they're trying to go for low hype for the moment until they're sort of almost ready. And then when they are almost ready, then at that point they'll probably surprise us with a massive drop of info on it. Yeah, I do agree that like, the current Atlas, it hasn't held up as well as the previous one did. I think that's just because we are so much more powerful than we used to be. You know, we're so much more powerful, and that means that you get past everything quicker. So you reckon that they're up to Act 5 at the moment? What info did you have on that? Like, do you have any sort of inside info, or is that just speculation? The Pi preview vid for the next league. When did this come out? I was so frantic during with my day job in the last week that I've seen the major stuff, but the Pi one, I'm just trying to think what that actually is. See, I think with Sheriff, I think with the 32 Watchstones, I like how you keep working on your Atlas for a while, because the Atlas comes to full power when you've got, or almost full power when you've got 16, and you get to 16 quickly. Then 32, like, for me, it takes 3 or 4 more days usually afterwards. Oh yeah. What's Chimera? Oh, that's for a random Scarab. That's right. That card is quite rare because Scarabs were very rare when it was introduced, and now that Scarabs are much more common than they were, they still haven't reviewed the drop rate on Chimera's cut. Well, that's one of the biggest cards I've had, Chaotic Disposition, and there's a Hoarder. So that's my second Exile card. Plus Chaotic Disposition is just an easy 5C. That's a pretty common drop. So Chaotic Disposition lives in Poorjoy's Asylum normally. Alrighty, well, we've got one nurse and we've got one nurse, one the soul, and one of the Soul Ripper cards. This is not looking good, but we've still got another 220 to go. Let's dump all these away. And see what we can get here. The Void is always fun. I need to turn in my Voids. I also need to trade for a bunch of Voids and turn in a bunch on stream. Oh, there's Azarin's Reward again, being mislabeled as a jackpot drop because I haven't changed my filter from when it was. The Ethereal should be more of a jackpot drop than it is now. That's something that's worth something on day one of a league. The Ethereal is it drops from Atziri's zone, and it's something that is always really good to see on day one. Yeah, not many swing sounds, and 2 of the swing sounds we've had were basically mistakes because my loot filter is misconfigured. And thinks that Azarin's Reward is still a very valuable card when I mean, it's not valueless, but I don't think it's worth much. I'm just going to check that, actually. So I'm just going to bring up POE.ninja in the background, and Aziron's reward, divination cards, is 11C at the moment. So it's not a swing sound, but it should sound the same as the Hoarder. Buried Treasure is another 8C card. Doesn't have the right sound at the moment. That's correct, Divodinator. Well, I think at the moment, even if we got a Doctor, we'd still be miles behind, or even a Demon. Hey, Keeson, thanks. Has certainly not been good luck so far, but we've still got another 170 to go. Yeah. That's worthwhile knowing. I didn't know how that card worked, or what was a jackpot on it. Another Arrogance of the Vaal is good. Yeah, reduced mana reservation on Jules was a mistake. No ifs, no buts, no maybes about that one. That's Piranha's mana. The Mare might be worth something. I will have to check that one. Piranha's mana can often be a somewhat valuable map late in the league. Pouring myself a drink. The offering. Chevron's wrappings. I have a lot of those, actually, because I was going to implicit corrupt them at one point. I don't think that's a problem, honestly. I think that killing aura stacking off is so important that whatever else has to go with it is fine to do it. And honestly, Aurabots have been broken for a long time. Like, people say that Aurabots are balanced. They're not. They've been madly broken for a long time, too. I mean, my solution to how to nerf it would be to change all sources of reduced mana reservation stat, change it to have double the number, and make it so that you can reserve X% of your mana for free. So if you've got if, for instance, Hatred costs 50%, so Hatred would still cost 50% mana, but if you had Skyforth on, Skyforth currently has 6% RMR on it, the RMR would be changed to 12%, and so you would get 12% for free. You're reserving Hatred, that's going to use 38% of your mana plus the 12% provided by Skyforth. That's what I would do. You'd need to find a very careful wording for it that makes it elegant. Hey, nice. Level 3 Enlighten. Why is that exciting? So you've got a Nurse there, which doesn't make up for the rubbish we've had, but I'll take it. Lots of 6-link cards. Like, so many 6-link cards. Humility, Chains of Bind, all that sort of good stuff. Coveted Possession is... Oh, that's the regular one. That's absolute rubbish in the current state of the League economy. In fact, it's probably worse than... that Divination card is probably worth less than a Transmute at the moment. Because the thing is that even if they nerfed Aurabots quite hard, Aurabots would still be incredibly strong. Like, if they removed all sources of reduced mana reservation from... if they nerfed the numbers on items and removed it entirely from jewels, Aurabots would still be the thing that dominates the races to 100 in trade leagues. Because they'd still be that good. Like, Aurabots were really good back when they were a lot weaker than they are today. Alrighty, let's see what we got left here. Rubbish. What shall we do with a drunken aristocrat? What shall we do with a drunken aristocrat? What shall we do with a drunken aristocrat early in the morning? Stick it in a stash tub and forget about it. Stick it in a stash tub, forget about it. Stick it in a stash tub, forget about it. Something like that. So yeah, lots and lots of six link cards again. There's the Ethereal, another one of them. Yeah, I think that some builds are just too good. I do think it's fine that you got lots of longer term goals in a league. Like, I think it would be a lot worse if your character felt finished on day 6. And that was actually one of the big problems with Harvest, was that you finished your characters stupidly quickly in that league. Or at least if you tried to. Yeah, D3 I've heard is like that too. Apparently it works kind of well in D3 though, because like the game doesn't have the replayability anyway. At least that's what I've heard. Diablo 3, I got turned off it when they had the pay-to-cheat auction house in it. So I actually never bought the game because of that. It was like, no, I'm not going to get involved in a game that's got that degree of pay-to-cheat. And even when they got rid of it, I was like, nah, you've just burnt the... It was like what happened with Dungeon Keeper 2 when they did the mobile remake. It's like, I'm not going to give EA another chance on that. They've burnt their credibility. World of Warcraft I used to play. I used to have a bit of fun with it, and I got sick of it. World of Warcraft's interesting in that what I really don't like about the game is that you've got two essentially different games. You've got the level to whatever the cap is now, I think it's 110. Level to 110, then get yourself a starter set of gear. And that's basically a solo game. Then you've got the, then from there, you've got a totally different game. And I like the end game, but I don't like the prereqs. Guru, we've got some very bad news for you here. The only Headhunter bits I've got are 2 copies of the Nurse. So I have absolutely gotten burnt on this lot of div cards today. We're almost done as well. So this will be the 1,000 when I finish this. I might turn in some of the other loose ones that I've got. But we have got no doctors, no mirror bits. We've basically gotten burnt completely. Yeah, the PvP game in World of Warcraft, which I never had a good enough connection for that. So I've never really gotten into the PvP side of it. Can the Void give a Headhunter? Yes, it can, but no, it won't. But yes, it is possible. It's on the drop table. It can drop anything that is a divination card reward, but it will be weighted. It will respect the weighting. So think of it as basically being like you turn in a stack deck, then instead of getting one of the cards, you get the whole lot. Yeah, that comes from the offering divination card if you got it non-crangled. And if you got it crangled, it would have been... I'm trying to think what the... There is a card for a Corrupt Chevron's Wrappings. I can't think what it is. Yeah, I've had like 3 or 4 of the Onigoroshi card drop. It's not mega rare. So, okay, then that's the divination card. Drops a lot in Heist, that div card, actually. Wow, that's the 1,000, and we got nothing. We got... So, just to finish off with 1,000, before I turn in the rest of them, we got 2 copies of the Nurse. We got 1 of the Soul, which is for 1/9 of a Soul Taker. We got 3 1/12 of an Exalted Orb. So 3 copies of the Hoarder. We got 2 Azaran's Rewards, and we got the Divination card for the Soul Ripper Flask. So we got burnt. Natu, what am I having a drink tonight? It's only just good old Pepsi Max. I had a few beers at Christmas lunch, so didn't want to have any more. I'm going to turn in the rest of them just to make it up to the 1,136 cards that we had. Yeah, well. Look, I expected no better, mate. I'll tell you, I expected no better. You'd need a lot of luck to hit one of the mirror cards. And if you don't hit a mirror card, you're getting burned on 1,000 stack decks. Mirror or the major Headhunter cards, maybe. But hey, it's all fun and games. What's the saying? It's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. Emperor of Purity is a card that unfortunately has not aged well. It used to be that you could chance that into Vol's Devotion. Not Vol's Devotion. There's a piece of armor that went with Vol's Devotion, but that was made into a Legion item. Tranquility is... Oh, Voltaxic Rift. That's a unique that hasn't aged well. Well, there's 1/5 of an Exile. That's one of the few best items we've had so far. And what do we got left? We're down to just 90 left, so we're over 1,000 deep, 1,046 deep, 1,050 deep. And we're just getting burnt more and more all the time. But that's all fine. It's all fun and games. Oh! Alright. That's a little bit of an improvement, actually. Get a Doctor drop right near the end. While I'm whinging about how bad the drops have been. In comes the Doctor to say, hello. Kind of wasn't expecting that, but hey. If I believed in karma, then that would be really confusing. That would shake my belief in karma. Getting a Doctor there, or getting a Doctor at all. Yeah. Yep, it's all fun and games until you have to visit the Doctor. Ah, there's one of my divination cards. Yeah, exactly. Certainly did not do well there. But hey, as I said, it was all about fun and games. It's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. And that's the most fun part of all. So let's pick up all this rubbish. And we're back to it. Last 50 cards. Let's see if we can get a demon to round things out a bit. That'd be cool. I'd like to get a demon. Don't think I'm going to get one, but... Hey, long con. That should be about an Exalt. No, a bit less than an Exalt. That should be like half an Exalt. That's another card in the sort of Soul Taker card range in terms of value. So it's funny how, like, when I kept going after my stopping point, I've started doing a bit better. Council of Cats is the one for a feral item. I think I will just check that. With the cats looking rather menacing on it. Feral item, yeah. The cats sort of... They're planning something, those cats. I love that artwork. It's like they are really planning something. I think they're about to organise to sacrifice their owner or something. Merciless Armament, oh, of course. What else is a Merciless Armament going to be than a Merciless Armament? I should have probably guessed what that card was for. Ah, that's one of the primordial jewels again. So we've just got a very small number left. 1 doctor, 2 nurses, and a bunch of like 0.5x cards. And what does the fox say? And another side quest. Alrighty, well that was a little bit of fun. Giving the children weapons, is that the card, the divination card about the... That doesn't look like giving children weapons. Is that the one you're talking about, Michael? The merciless armament, or is it something else? I just see a dove about to have a very bad day when I look at that card. Oh, I thought it was a reference to the art. Alright, well we have a few void cards to turn in. The void is always fun. I don't actually have very many of them, but I will grab them. So, div tab and void. So, void, we have 9 of these. These are always a lot of fun to turn in. And let's have a look at wretcheds as well. We have only 1 set of the wretched. Okay, that'll do. Let's go and find our good little friend Navani, who is about to have a bit of a laugh at my expense with these cards. Oh yes, good point, Developinator. I will do those as soon as I actually succeed in loading. So we have arrogance. We have arrogance of the Vaal. I only have 1 set of arrogance of the Vaal. That surprises me. Anyways.
Hello.
I do know what 24 Ancient Orbs means. Balefire with Area of Effect. Yeah, like, kind of cool. The Wretched, what I expected. The Void, number 1. Whispering Ice, not perfect rolls. Number 2, Cartographer's Cheezels. That's from the Lava Divination card. That's from the Mountain Divination card. 2 good mods on... Oh, from Balefire. Yeah, I'll keep it. Pacifism is unfortunately one of the bogey prizes. And there's the Orbs of Regret to go with this whole experience. I mean, at least I got a Doctor, which reduces the some of the sting of it. This is from the Divination card for 3 different essences. And this is the last one we've got, which is another Vaal Orb. Okay, so you're saying that I should keep that... yeah, I do agree with you. Balefire has some potential in the future, doesn't it? As an item that has a skill with an interesting way of working on it. So that can sit there. That can sit there. That can sit there and be forgotten. And all this stuff can just get moved into here. I can't even move that because my tab that's got all of my uniques in it is full. Okay, so someone mentioned Ancient Orbs. Let me just check what we've got in the way of belts. That's a perfectly serviceable belt to use with the Ancient Orbs. And then we just need a map. Why don't we find a goofy little map like a bog map that we will then go and roll up a little bit. Only reason I'm rolling this is because I still need the challenges for this league. Anyways, that's eye level 40. Yeah, I could. It is slightly more efficient, but I don't think I have any high level 40 belts. It's slightly wasteful, but I'm going to be slightly inefficient and probably regret it when I waste a belt. Well, yeah, I'm going to waste a couple of things by using Ancient Orbs on this and getting higher item level belts, but that's fine. I don't really care. It's the end of the league. Efficiency isn't that important. Yeah, I don't have that on muscle memory yet, Devodinator. I have seen it, the change that they made, but I don't have it as muscle memory yet, so I tend to not get that. I'm not going to spam it at all. It'll be slow, methodical clicks. Oh, wow, so laggy. I'm going to lose some XP here. But yeah, it won't be spammed at all. It'll be slow and methodical clicks. Assuming that I survive this tremendous lag spike. That was just a replenishing shrine as well. So, not holding shift. I'm just going to use it. 1, bated breath. Deceiver. Piranha's Blazon. I'll be right, mate. I'm just going to... I'm able to complete the map fine. Megan Lord's Girdle. Deceiver again. Pyroshot Clasp. What's... This thing is not worth anything, is it? This is a new league. This is a heist added item, but it's something that can drop anywhere. What's the stats on this thing again? It's duration of ailments and physical damage that monsters deal. So it's a defensive belt. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that's perfect. I'd never read that flavor text. That is fantastic. Anyways, let me say it was fantastic. PC isn't a potato, although it does struggle a bit with streaming. I am intending to get a new one very soon. Worm's Malt, no. Immortal Flesh. Worm's Malt. Bated Breath. Worm's Malt. Bated Breath. Worm's Malt. Bated Breath. Melgaro's Restraint. That's at the rarer end, but is not valuable from memory. And honestly, with it being this late in the league, even if it was valuable, it wouldn't really matter. Worm's Malt. Sunblast. Sunblast I thought was more common than that. I was expecting to get a few of them. Soul Tether is a very nice item, but that actually... Is that too good to roll over? I have to check on that. That is one that I think might be worth something. Just not sure. Get an answer on that for you. Soul Tether is not worth anything. It's the replica one that is worth a little bit. And Immortal Flesh. Okay, cool. So we got nothing out of it. Now we're going to really struggle a bit. We're just going to go kill the boss of this. And the reason we're killing the boss is the challenge to do 75,000% worth of maps. But this is going to be the only map I run because the amount that my PC is struggling with the stream at the moment is just unbelievable. It starts doing this once the stream's been going for a while. And this is a super low tier map, so it's just going to be a case of splat, done. What are the rolls on this Immortal Flesh? We have 91, 72.1, 9.9, minus 48. Actually very good rolls on the Immortal Flesh, with the exception of the Explicit. And I have forgotten to bring Portal Scrolls, because I put all my Portal Scrolls away for all of the spamming that we were doing there. Alright all, well that was a little bit of fun. I'm going to call it at this point and say Merry Christmas to everyone. You guys all have fun, stay safe, and I will see you hopefully, well, whenever I've had my, after I'm back from hiking, I'll be going on normal full-on coverage mode of the new content when that sort of starts coming out. So that's my plans. The 7th is the big day for it, and then we'll find out. Yep, see you in 3.13, and everyone have a great Christmas, however seriously you take it, whether it's a big day for you or whether it's just, I wish this was over already, sort of like it is for me. Thanks, Devodinator. Yeah, to you too, Thomas. Now I have to go and change the stream information to say 1 doctor, 2 nurses. Put some spoilers in there.